How's everyone doing? Thanks for joining me on my small engine repair channel. Today's project is this Craftsman push mower with a Briggs and Stratton Quantum engine. And as you could probably already see, the problem we're having with it is the starter recoil is all mangled. So let's see what we can do with this one and see if we can get it back out cutting grass. Alright guys, so I got you up on my lawnmower lift here. First thing we're going to do is take this top shroud off. Okay, next thing we do to get at this starter, we have to go ahead and take the fuel tank off. So there are three, well in this case some of them are missing a screw, so there's two 5/16 and one 3/8 up and underneath here. And then you can just slide this guy back, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 more 3/8. And that'll get your whole top shroud off. There's also a little 5/16 that holds on the oil dipstick. And you can just take that off, turn it, put the dipstick back in. And then we got the shroud off here. So the busted starter recoil spring assembly sits in here. So I'm going to bring you over to the bench now, show you what I'm looking at. Alright guys, so here's the broken one that came with the mower that I picked when I picked it up. As you can see, the spring is all mangled. It looks actually like a brand new spring. Maybe you tried to replace the spring and it didn't work out well for him. Here's one that's a good used one. This is kind of how the spring should look. The end of this spring should actually, how it has a little hook there, should hook into this little post right here. So this one is an option. I also have this out of my parts for my Briggs and Stratton Quantum, which is this particular mower engine. So what I think I'm going to do is take this spring out, put this spring inside of this assembly, and then reinstall that on here. So let's go down that road. Alright guys, so when you're dealing with these springs, make sure you're wearing your safety glasses, because these things can fly around when they come out, because they're under quite a lot of tension. Now this one is not going to be salvageable because it's just all bent to crap. Okay, so I'm not even going to waste my time trying to bend this back. Garbage. Okay. So before I put this spring in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just blow this out with some compressed air and maybe clean that up a little bit, and then I'll pop the new spring in there. Alright, so I got my new used spring. Put that guy in there like that, and then to release the tension there, just snip these little two zip ties that I had holding it together. Pull those out. And I'm just holding it down as I'm doing this too, because I don't want it to go flying, if at all possible. Okay, so that's good. Now while I have it open here, I'm going to spray some lubricant on the spring, and now we're ready to put it back into the housing. Okay, so this is going to go in here like so, but I also have to take the cord off because this cord has to actually go through this eyelet here. So I'm gonna have to take this cord off. Now, that's the easier way, would just be to snip it here. Okay. Grab the old piece out. Alright, now, again, the big key is to get this hook to line up with this this little lip here, this little tab. So also, probably good to put your rope through the eyelet ahead of time as well. Okay, so that's all it takes. And I know it's hooked, it's attached there because when I pull it, it actually provides some resistance, which means that that little hook is actually catching on that tab and actually creating the spring tension to bring it back. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is take my two pawls, put those back on, just like so. Take this guy, and I'm going to end up screwing that in, but I push it down first and then try and spin it to see if the pawls fly outwards. Okay, and as you see, as it spins, the pawls fly outwards there. So now I'm just going to cinch that screw down. Now, if you cinch down the screw and then this thing doesn't move freely, this cap part doesn't move freely, then you've done something wrong. So just take this off, rehook it back up, okay, and then try it again. So I've tightened it. You can see the pawls come out when I pull it and it gets retracted. Okay? Alright, so I'll put my cord back on, which is pretty easy. Just put one or two nice tight knots in there, and then you're going to want to burn the edge with a lighter so it doesn't come unraveled. Okay, and then it's hot, so be careful. Okay, and just pull it back through. And there we go. Now she's ready to go back on the machine. Now, there might not be enough tension on the spring. What I mean by that is if you take a look, this cord doesn't actually go back all the way in and retract all the way in. Okay, so to fix that, what you're going to do, get yourself some sort of a pick to grab the string. Okay, pull the string back through like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put one or two more windings on that spring. To do that, you have to gotta get this past. There we go. So what you have to do is put a couple more windings on the spring by pulling it around a couple of times, which then tightens up the spring. Pull that guy through again. Okay, and now you can see it goes all the way back in now. Okay, so now she's ready to go back on the machine. So put it back on, just the reverse order. Stick this guy back on. Okay. There we go. Got her back on. So put my I'm gonna put my oil cap or dipstick back in here. Okay, a little 5/16. 3/8. And I got this big 3/8, and then there's always a little spacer. Spacer goes between the tank and the engine block. Alright, a couple more 5/16. This works, I'll grab the third one. Oh, looks like an angle hole in this one. That's why there isn't one in there. Okay. Alright, so I'm not going to put the hood back on just yet. I don't know if this thing is actually going to run. I checked the fuel. There is fuel in there. Check the oil. Yep, some oil in there. I'm going to check the air filter and the primer system. Air filter doesn't look too bad. I could probably blow that out. And then I'm just going to check the primer, and it works. So I'm just going to put it down now, see if it will run with the new starter recoil on it. Alright, so one last thing I want to check also is the blade. And oh, okay, I hate these aftermarket universal blades. They are really junk, and they don't fit properly. This guy's got his on upside down actually too, so that cutting edge is supposed to be facing the top of the mower. So anyways, it'll be good enough for testing purposes. So let's see if we can get this thing to fire up. So it could be a dirty carb, could be bad gas, could be no spark. Alright guys, so it does run. But as you can see, it was bouncing around all over the place, and that's only because of this awful blade. So what I'm going to do is deal with the blade next. I'm going to unhook the spark plug. I'm going to flip it carburetor side up as always. And then see what we can do with this blade. As you can see, the blade adapter looks like it's mangled as well, I think. So let's see if we can get this thing off and take a quick peek. See if this is going to be usable at all. 9/16. All right. So, first things first, blade is not the right blade. It won't allow for, it won't allow for these cutouts to actually go around these circle parts of this blade adapter. So I'm gonna have to try and find a different blade for this. Alright guys, so I got myself a new blade on here, sharpened it, and it's the right side up this time. The sharpened side should be facing up, pointed to the bottom of the deck. So let's see if this makes any difference really on our issue of the shaking. Alright guys, much better on this. So all I need to do now is put the cover back on here, and I'm going to change the oil and clean it up a little bit. And it's the end of the season, so you know, bagger like this in the springtime, if I save it till the spring, I could probably get, you know, $150 for it. But because it's the end of the year here, probably going to be about 120 bucks after it's all cleaned up. But at least we got another one saved, and hopefully the starter repair was informative, guys. And if you liked the video, please show me a little love, give me a like down below, and if you're not already a subscriber and you like small engine repair stuff, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and then you'll be notified each and every time I release a new video. So thanks again for watching. Until our next project, take care.